Hello Israel, coming to you again with another video, Red Planet. This Friday, Israel. We made it through the week. Made it through the week. Okay, we're going to listen to this man talk about the darkness that's getting ready to come. Let's get into it, Israel.
It was kind of in the mountains, and it was a beautiful lake, and there was lots of green trees and mountains everywhere, and there was a man that was walking on the shore on the beach of the lake, and he had a staff. And when I saw the man, he was very masculine. He had lots of facial hair. He almost looked sort of like some pictures of Jesus, and he was just really beautiful, a really beautiful man. And he had a staff, and he one second he came to the very edge, to the very shore of the lake, and he started like doing some weird chants and started dancing, and all of a sudden like this darkness started to come out of him, like it became like completely black. Just darkness came out of him, and it turned everything dark. Like the lake just turned gray. So anyways, the lake and all the stuff, everything, like the sky and the lake, it all turned dark, and there was just a huge, massive darkness coming out of this man. And well, after the darkness started to spread, there was evil spirits, like demons, just completely darkness, just coming out of this man, like shooting out of him. And that I like zoomed out, and I could see like kind of the perspective of it was like taking over the whole earth, like just this darkness covering the whole earth, and all these demons were coming out of him, and they were attacking people and like torturing and killing people and just causing havoc and destruction everywhere.
And I don't know what this hooded figure was. It gave me the impression like that it was the angel of death, like that it was like a Grim Reaper type. So I don't know necessarily if it was Satan himself or what. But the thing about it is that from this hooded figure, there was a darkness that was spreading across the land, and it was spreading so fast and so furious. I mean, guys, it was like all of these things at once. It was like pestilence along with, disease, famine, war, everything spreading so fast, whether it's a natural disaster like an earthquake. And I got the impression that it was like during the tribulation. This was during a time where things are going to be happening so fast that millions of people will be dying at one time. As this pestilence was spreading out from him, this darkness, it was like a thick black darkness that you could really tangibly feel was coming from this character or from this figure. And all of a sudden, he's standing up on top of a mountain, pretty high, where he can look out over the land. And he's and you can see his head going up and down. Like I can see the back of his hood, just kind of like he's going, yes, yes, or you can only imagine. Maybe he's laughing.
It was more like this, like there was either nothingness or space or sky. It was like darkness. It was just a dark, sort of black, maybe space background. It was one individual. I don't remember wings. I do remember that they were a celestial being, and they were holding a giant bowl. And then I just saw this. They just dumped the bowl. Nothing was said. This all happened in just a few seconds. It was just shown to me. There was this celestial being. It was holding this giant bowl. It was full of red liquid, and they just started pouring it out on the earth. And this was the feeling I got with it, though. See how this red liquid is being poured out? This isn't what it looked like. I didn't see any of the landscape or anything. I just saw the entity in space, and it started to pour the bowl. And this was the feeling I got, that it was some sort of judgment.
If any of you guys don't know what they're dreaming about, and you confused, they are in a timeline in their dream. All of these people don't know each other, and I put all these dreams together because they match. And so they are in the timeline of the end of Satan. That's where they are. And they are describing not an angel, not a man, but a beast. That's what they are describing. And this beast is finna let all hell break loose. And so, watch. We're going to read Ezekiel 31, starting with number 4. So this guy saw waters, he saw trees, he saw mountains, and they all pretty much saw mountains in their dreams. So this is east of Eden, where the Gentiles or the jinn or the beast of the field is all the same thing. They all the same thing. Gentiles, jinn, and beasts of the field are of all like nature. They're the same. And so there's mankind and then there's them. And so this is what they are dreaming about. So the waters made him great. And this is Ezekiel 31, number 4. The waters made him great. The deep set him up on high. Her rivers running about his plants, and sent her little rivers unto all the trees of the field. And they talking about beasts. They're talking about jinn. They're not talking about trees. But they're using trees to describe them. Therefore his height was exalted above all the trees of the field, and his boughs were multiplied, and his branches became long because of the multitude of waters when he shot forth. All of the fowls of the heaven made their nest in his boughs, and under his branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young. So who's the beasts of the field? So it's talking about Satan, the subtle serpent. This is what they're dreaming about. He's describing this place, and this is east of Eden, where the jinn live, where the Satans live, whatever you want to call them, demons, beasts, Lucifer. So all the beasts of the field brought forth their young, and those are the Gentiles. And under his shadow dwelt all the great nations. And the nations we know are what? Gentiles. So we're talking about Iblis, Satan, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him. Thus was he fair in his greatness, meaning that he's light-skinned, but also meaning that he looks beautiful. In the length of his branches, for his roots was by great waters. The cedars of the garden of God could not hide him, and that's his evil spirit. The fir trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree of the garden of God was like unto him and his beauty. So this is what the guy noticed in there, that he had a great beard. All of them see him as some black, dark, being. And basically, the guy is seeing him as beauty and like Christ.
He almost looked sort of like some pictures of Jesus, and he was just really beautiful, a really beautiful man. And
and it's like this tree that's in the Vatican right now, and I believe this is what this tree is. It's a picture of the subtle serpent, or Lucifer, or Satan, whatever you want to call him. I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that the trees of Eden, that's where they were, east of Eden, that were in the garden of God envied him. So watch this. Cain went to east of Eden, married a woman, Edomites, and so Cain was of what? Adam, but it wasn't Adam's seed, it was Satan's seed. So Cain is just of Eve and Satan. Okay, now we're going to go down further in this verse to Ezekiel 31, number 16. And this is what they're seeing. So the one said she saw the angel pour his bowl. And so before I read that, then I'll go to Revelations 16, number 10. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, that nation. So they seeing this guy pouring it out, or they seeing this guy causing the death or the blackness to come and the darkness. But An angel did it, right? And so watch this. These two verses are connected with their dreams. Revelation 16:10. The fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast. Who is the beast? The beast of the field. Who are the beasts of the field? The nations. And his kingdom was full of darkness, and everything went dark. And they gnawed their tongues for the pain, and everything went bad right then and there. It's only two things left then, and that is the sixth and the seventh angel pouring out their vow. And so the next vow is going to dry up the Euphrates River, and then the last one is God saying it's done. So we right here at the end, man. And then we go back to Revelations, Ezekiel 31, number 16. Okay, let's start with 15. Thus says the Lord God, in the day when he went down to the grave, I caused a mourning. I covered the deep for him, and I restrained the floods thereof, and the great waters were stayed, and I caused Lebanon to mourn for him, and all the trees of the field fainted for him. And it ain't trees again. It's talking about Gentiles. It's talking about beast. It's talking about jinn, Satan's. And I made the nations to shake at the sound of his fall. At the sound of his fall. When I cast him down into, with them that descend into the pit, right down to hell. And this is the red that she's seeing, like in the lava, being poured out. And all the trees of Eden, the choice of the best Lebanon, and all the drink water shall be comforted in neither parts of the earth. They also went down into hell with him, unto them that be slain with the sword, and they that were his arm, and that's army, that dwelt under his shadow in the midst of the heathen. So these three people just dreamt of the end. The end, when Satan is going to get cast down. They dreaming of the darkness that's getting ready to spread down on this earth. You could feel it, man. Something is dreadfully fucking wrong. And, we all finna, I ain't going to say we all. The people who ain't with God, ain't with God. I ain't saying Jesus. I ain't saying anybody else. I'm saying if you're not with God, you are going to meet it. Watch. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I keep trying to tell people to stop calling on Jesus and call on God. I keep warning you to do that. People are not going to listen to me till you find out it ain't going to work. It's people having dreams right now, left and right, that they calling on Jesus Christ in a time of trouble, and he ain't answering them. And he already told you in the Bible, in Matthew, that he ain't going to answer. Many people are going to come up to him and say, Lord, Lord, and he's going to tell you to depart from me, and you're going to be departing into this darkness. You got to really understand that. And then he's going to say, only he who is saved is the one who does the will of the Father. So I'm telling you, stop praying to Jesus. Stop mentioning him in your prayers. God didn't told you that. I showed you video after video after video of how that's wrong. And that was added to the Bible. No one worshiped Jesus before, and you shouldn't be doing that now. And so again, the time has come. And I'm going to tell you what everybody's dreams is. They dreaming that Jesus is not answering their prayers. They dreaming of this darkness that's spreading through the earth. They dreaming of these earthquakes and these wars. And all these demons is let loose on this earth. And they chopping people's heads off and making them take the mark and everything else. And it's the time that things is going to be unleashed on this earth. And you better fucking be ready. You better be ready, And you better be in the right religion. Wrap the news.